And now for the next episode. Let's get it.
I mean, I figured we could start with the Jungi sword dance practice.
Yes, we'll start with that.
It was beautiful. It was breathtaking. I'll repeat for the recording. The bare-faced, freshly dyed, black, undercut Jungi doing the sword dance is very nice.
It was very nice.
I'm ready to see it. All I've seen was the little picture that was on the YouTube. Yeah, like, you need to watch this, and I'm like, okay, I will after work, but I didn't have time. So
like, you're right, I do need to watch this.
Yes, I absolutely need to watch this.
It was Big Hit's way of telling us to focus on Jungi today, because they did the sword dance Bangtan Bomb, and then that telepathy thing where he's like the voice of I don't know, but I was like, I watched the sword dance, and then that tweet popped up like 5 minutes later, and I was just like, what are you trying to do to me, Big Hit?
I did see that little snippet of thing. It was like 24 seconds. So I was like, okay, I can watch this. So I did see that, but I have no idea what it meant. But I mean,
is this our surprise for the essentials? Like, they said the members were going to start dropping things until the release.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm okay with it. Like, probably somebody has translated it, so maybe it actually talks about the song. I don't know.
Maybe so.
Yeah, it's actually his verse from Telepathy.
Okay.
And he's singing it.
Oh, I like to hear Jungi sing. He doesn't do it often enough.
No, him and Hobie, and Namjoon, really, but
and they all try and pretend like they can't sing, but they all can sing.
Agree.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to go watch Jungi and his sword dance later.
Me too.
All I was wondering, was he in pain after?
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Like, I was trying to watch how he was doing things, and it's so sad because we know that he was suffering at some points, right? Otherwise, he wouldn't have went ahead with the surgery. But he seemed all right, at least during the parts we saw.
And I like that it was a real sword, made by a master sword maker or whatever.
Yeah, that was cool.
It wasn't just a fake prop. Now I wonder, where is that sword?
I bet he's got it, right? Like, doesn't that seem like something you'd try and keep?
Yeah.
If you were doing it, like, I'd probably try and keep it. Like, can I have this?
Yeah, he should have it mounted in his studio or something. That would be very nice.
Okay.
Don't they have a storage somewhere? Because they were talking about that statue from Blood, Sweat, and Tears that Jin had kissed. That was like stashed in some sort of Big Hit storage.
Oh, you know they have a storage building somewhere, or multiple storage buildings.
Which they
mean,
up as a museum for Army.
I mean, at some point, I bet they will.
Maybe.
Yeah,
they could have the job cataloging all that stuff.
They could have like a Disneyland of all their sets, basically, over in Korea.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so fun.
That's an idea.
Yeah. The next Disney ideology.
Well, they are doing something, right? Like, aren't they? Am I misremembering? Like, in the new building, they are planning on having some sort of like exhibit space or something.
I think I read that as well.
Okay. So not completely fictional.
Even the other labels do that kind of stuff where you can have like a museum kind of thing to walk through. So, I mean,
no, it makes sense. And Big Hit, I mean, not just BTS, but TXT also, like, they're popular. So I am sure people would want to be there.
Hype and babies, like, I mean, So,
Oh, imagine the crowds. Oh,
I mean,
Yeah.
Melissa
There's
and
the
I were
crowds
talking
yesterday.
about it, like from the New Year's Eve thing. I think the only ones merch that sold out was BTS and Hypen.
Yeah. Yeah, the rest of them didn't. I mean, although like some of the solo folks and stuff, I didn't expect them to.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
no offense to them at
No,
all,
no,
but
no.
like
Right. Yeah.
just they're probably not pulling in the international crowds at least.
No. So yeah, that would be quite a museum to visit.
Sign me up.
Have to buy tickets months ahead of time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just thinking the same thing about the reservations and tickets and stuff. Better plan in advance.
Yeah, I'm sure you'd have to. It's probably going to be one of those waiting list kind of things when it finally does happen.
Oh, for sure.
It'd be the same as trying to get a freaking concert ticket.
Oh,
Hush. That's a nightmare.
Speaking of concerts, are we still thinking 2022?
I
Yeah.
hope so.
Hope so.
I hope so too.
I hope they don't cancel. I've been seeing that some bigger artists have been like finally just pulling the plug and canceling instead of just postponing.
Yeah, I saw that too.
So I'm a little nervous. I mean, it is what it is, and we'll just all fight the little Ticketmaster running man again if we have to,
Again, yes.
with our new extra like 10,000,
Oh my
10,000, like
Oh
couple
God.
extra million army. But what?
I don't even want to think
whatever.
about it. That's depressing.
It is
Like,
what it
okay,
is.
I'm glad the boys have more fans, but also that's more people to compete with for tickets. And I remember just from, going to Comic-Con the first time in 2010 and how like there were tickets available for like ever. And literally like 2 years later, it's just like everybody started wanting to go. And now, even till now, it's like the Hunger Games. You can't get tickets. It's almost impossible.
Oh no. Yeah.
So I don't want it to be like that for BTS. Like I just want to be able to get a ticket and go. I just want to
Yeah.
keep my ticket that I have and go.
I definitely want to keep my ticket. I was very fortunate in my ticket selections, and I've got aisle seats for 2 nights and sound check. Like, I really want those tickets, but we shall see.
Yeah. It's really interesting because the other areas they have that's not within the US. It's basically canceled, but they still use the terminology postponed for us from Ticketmaster. So I don't know. It's like you said, it is what it is, but I do hope that they keep it as postponed.
Maybe they could base your spot in line on your Army membership date. So at least older Army might have a shot. I don't know.
Maybe like if you just kept renewing, although that would also suck because there's a lot of people who've been around since like 2013.
Right.
Yeah, I do.
But I
agree.
would take my 2018 membership over the 2020 memberships.
Right.
So,
I was just
no
gonna
offense
say.
to 2020 babies.
Yeah.
Right. I was just gonna say, but we wouldn't have to compete with all of the quarantine babies in that.
Right. I know. I feel like I've met so many on Facebook and Twitter lately that are 2020
Oh,
Army.
I'm seeing a lot. Yeah, I guess I didn't notice, or maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but it seems more so recently I'm seeing folks on Facebook and Twitter and even TikTok, about how they just found BTS last year, which is amazing, and I'm glad, and I still firmly believe you find BTS when you're meant to. So I'm glad for them, but at the same time, I will fight you, but I don't want to.
But I will.
But I will.
oh my gosh. Yeah.
I'll fight you for tickets and merch.
That
Yeah.
freaking whale, by the way.
Oh, the whale.
I missed it again. Dang it.
Oh no.
Again, when? I'm always missing it.
I mean, it's happened twice, I think, and I missed it both times. So
As did I.
maybe one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is, but I have my notifications turned on, but it's not notifying me like right when
Same.
it drops. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
they were behind. I don't even think they sent notifications for the whale. Like
Oh.
you had to go in and look for them.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
and it
I
was
think
sold
that's a
out by
better
the time,
idea.
even if they did.
Yeah.
I just got lucky that one night when I saw somebody. I started following this merch restock Twitter account, and I turned on their alerts,
Oh,
and I saw their alert about the whale restock, and I was like, ah!
Oh my gosh.
So I went
Shout
and
out
bought
to them.
one, and then I went and told you guys in the GC that it was
Yeah.
restocked, and then I went and bought a second one just to make sure in case, because I know lots of people were looking.
Aw.
and
Mhm.
yet still, I missed all that.
Yeah, it was sold out by the time I went for a third. Like I would have kept placing orders. I would have probably bought like at least 5. That seems reasonable because I thought, oh well, some of the podcast girls wanted them, and I'm in a group chat with like 5 or 6 people who are from a Tay birthday project a few years ago, and I know a couple of them want it. And I was like, heck, if I have an extra, I'm sure somebody would want it because I'm not trying to make a profit like the people on eBay are. Selling them for like
Right? I
$150.
saw
What?
that.
Yeah.
Insane.
Seriously?
Mhm.
Yes.
I'll
Yeah.
take the one.
Even if Big Hit made everything member only, it wouldn't stop them though, because
No.
it's worth them buying a membership because they can buy all the merch to resell. So
Mhm.
That's terrible.
it is very. Did everybody get their winter package? Speaking of merch,
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that I got.
so pretty. Like I can't wait to see it in person.
All the photos they've showed so far are really amazing. I love
They
the
do look
ones where
really good.
people put lightsabers in, like
Yes.
it's Star Wars. That was awesome. That really cracked me up.
I've seen that one, which also they look really good. And then I saw somebody take and do like a Game of Thrones background on them. And I was just like, oh no,
Oh.
stop. Because it worked. But like,
Aw. But yes, it looked really pretty. And I'm still waiting for the Daikon one too. But those get released soon, right? But
they were postponed, right? So they got pushed back like a month.
oh no.
I think I got an email. Let me see if I find it right off the bat.
Either way, I'm waiting for Happy Meal.
Yeah, no, for sure. We're getting them. It's just when we're getting them.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't see it right off. I buy too much stuff. But
That's
they
all of it.
definitely sent an email. Well, Gmart, which is where I bought from, sent an email saying that they were delayed at 3 weeks or so.
Okay.
I think instead of the end of January, it's the end of February. So not bad.
Okay. I'll patiently wait.
That's the life of an army. Just patiently waiting. And then sometimes just being
mean-
pleasantly surprised when you come home because you just have something from like one of your army friends or something that you forgot that you ordered or
No, for reals, because my mom, she's not phased anymore by the packages that keep coming for me. The next thing I know, it's all gathered in one corner of the house, and she doesn't even tell me anymore because she knows I'll automatically look that way.
I know every time I see a DHL truck, I get all excited because the only thing I get from DHL is Weavers. Like nobody else that I buy from anyways ship for them. So like I see DHL and I'm like, woohoo!
I got
I'm
a
never
package
home to
last.
see them come, but I'm just happy to see the packages when I get here.
I got one last week. I was kind of a little bit annoyed. I knew it was coming. I didn't know what date it was coming, and I like to look outside at night. And there was my package at about 10:30. It was against the house, but it was also raining.
Oh
But
no.
thankfully, they were fine. It was fine.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so you could at least knock on the door. Let me know that you left it.
Right.
Yeah, they don't always. So, I mean, with COVID, I've been working from home for almost a year now, and I can tell you that it's about a 50% if somebody knocks on the door. Like, I will legit see UPS, FedEx, whoever, Amazon, and then I'll get a notification saying that the package was delivered, and I'm like, I mean, I'm like 10 feet from the door. You didn't knock.
I got nothing, but I got my
No.
package though.
Aw.
So do we want to talk about Run episodes?
Sure.
Iconic runs.
I love this so much.
There's so many. There's so many Run episodes.
So I just like to put a blanket statement about Run episodes. 1, I love them. 2, they're hilarious. But 3, I never know what's going on. I can stop and pause and read the directions, and I still don't understand. I
Yeah.
never know. I never know what the rules of any game are. Like, I might catch a couple, but like, I'm always clueless. I still don't know how to play Mafia. No idea.
Yeah, that's the one I'm still confused about. I spent a lot of time reading the rules, but yeah, Mafia still confuses me.
I think
Like, I don't get it.
but I'm with you guys. Yeah, it's like sometimes I really have to stop and pause it so I can really comprehend the instructions. And then I'm like, well, I'm not the one playing the game, so I'll just watch them play, and then maybe I'll understand it. And even then, sometimes I have a hard time trying to follow along. But I will say though, I think Mafia is one of the ones that I do kind of understand. But it's more like the other role playing games that aren't Mafia types. Trying to think of an example, but yeah, those are the ones that I have a hard time understanding. But yeah, I mean, all of the Run episodes, they're unique in their own way. Because as I started making a list, it was hard to not like list every single one and try and talk through all of them. Because then we would be here forever. But I'd be happy to talk about all of them if time permits.
We should have broke it up into blocks, maybe like 10 or 15 at a time.
Well, yeah, just like the Red episodes themselves too, because like in some episodes it lasts for like 1 or 2 or even 3 episodes long. But yeah, and I was surprised though that it first premiered in 2015 because I thought it had started sooner than that. Anyways, as armies know, that's the birth of Lachi Molala and birth of Team Insectin. And I'm sure other things as well.
That was hilarious. And will always, I mean, it will just always be associated with Jimin forever.
Lachi Molala.
But I think the part about that really gets me though is that they totally guessed carbonara. And
Yeah,
you're
he
like,
gets
how did
it.
you do that?
He still gets it.
That was so funny. That was really good.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but I read something that he actually saw something ahead of time to guess it correctly. I don't know if it was true or not, but I don't know. It was really impressive though when I first saw it.
I remember when I first watched, the early episodes, I was surprised they had them bungee jumping and doing things they were really scared of, like roller coasters and all that stuff. And they still did it, and some of them were not happy, of course.
No.
But that was pretty amazing to me. I was surprised that the company let them do that, or encourage, or actually kind of made them do it, especially the bungee jumping, because I was just thinking how this is your star group, and why are you like putting their lives at risk? Like, that's what I thought when I first watched them.
I guess they probably wanted to do it too.
Some of them, not all of them, that's for sure.
I don't think they were forced though. I mean, I think they were encouraged to do it, but I don't think they had to participate. But you're right, especially the bungee jumping. Like a few of, rightfully so, look petrified.
I wouldn't do that.
No, me either.
I don't care how much money you paid me, how much you tried to talk me into it. I'm not doing that.
No, I don't care if JK's holding my hand. Well, okay, maybe.
Nope.
That might be the only way, but I'm going to have my eyes closed.
Oh, yeah,
At least.
that's amazing.
Yeah, like with JK, quick reconsideration.
Yeah, you don't have to tell JK twice. You tell him once and he's ready to do it.
He is fearless. Like, he is an adrenaline junkie.
So much so.
I think there's a lot of peer pressure though amongst them to, like, if when a few of them do it, then the rest of them kind of feel like they have to keep going.
Yeah, I do agree. During their early moments, I do sense that too. That I know, like Melissa was saying, they're encouraged to do them, but I did notice, like, towards, I guess, the 2019, 2020 and stuff, because like when they were in New Zealand, and you know how they were going in to sign up to jump and stuff, and that was more of like who wants to do this, who doesn't want to do this, and that that to me really seemed like it was really up to them if they wanted to do it or not. But I mean, sorry, that wasn't part of a Run episode, but just the sense of the timing and how it's been coming along. But yeah, and V, he kind of like he surprises me sometimes. But I was surprised in the New Zealand episode. He's like, I'm gonna try it. I want to do what JK's doing too. And so I was really impressed, and he looked really excited too. But yeah, no, and some of the other Run episodes, Jin also surprises me because he's actually he seems very athletic, but in certain things, so he's like no. But I forget which episode it was, but maybe it was the sports challenge. Yeah, in episode 42, the sports challenge, he cracked me up when he was up on that little obstacle on the top, and you're trying to climb across these woods, and then I guess he kept saying, "Oh, oh, oh," and then the guy started giving him a pop quiz like, "What's your or what was your first word? Oh, what's your favorite number? Oh," or something like that. But like, and then you see other photo shots of him doing snowboarding, and he's like perfectly fine. But I don't know. Every member is unique in their own way.
That same episode is the one where Tay is trying to jump from the side over to the little thing that's hanging down, and he just keeps like, it's like he moves but he doesn't go, and and they're all just like giggling at him because he's trying, and then when he finally does it, it's just like wonk wonk, like just sad, like he didn't make it to the thing, and he just kind of like glides down to the floor.
He was so cute though, and he was trying so hard to grab onto like the little piece of it that he could, and he just couldn't hold on to it. Yes, he was so adorable. But yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. They just surprise me every once in a while. So do we want to go in order, or kind of just like mention our favorite moments are?
I can't go in order because I don't know the order.
No, yeah, me neither.
I could just tell you the episodes that like stick out in my mind.
I think that might just be best.
I just want to say this last one was a special kind of torture for them, and they did it to themselves. Like this was their own game that they created, and they did it to themselves to try and like have to get through all of these obstacles to be able to go home early. So I would just, it was a very entertaining, and Jungi wins all of the awards for sound effects while playing his games. Bless his heart. He just watching him trying to throw that card to get it to stick into the wall. It was painful. It was painful to watch because everybody else was just like, "Shoop, we're done," and he was just like, How did y'all make this happen? I don't understand." So
Hobie was really cute too, because
Yes,
he
he
was
really
struggling with some things too. It was cute.
when he was throwing the ball backwards, the bouncy balls, and they kept bouncing out of the bucket, he's like, "What? Why?" So,
And then Jin was sitting on the table moving it, so that was really funny. I'm like, that's not going to work, Jin. You're sitting on the table moving it.
he would have had that so much sooner. He just kept bouncing the ball too hard. He was just like slamming it down. I'm like, dude, it's never going to go that way. Like,
it was just so funny too because he had rearranged it from how the other guys had it, and he was just trying to. I guess he was trying to formulate his own way of trying to get it to go in, but it didn't work out. By the time RM came by, he's like, "Here, let me give it a try. Let me give it a try." And then finally, when RM got done, he's like, "Just use what I had formulated." But yeah, the moment that his leg okay, so the screen had changed angles, and I thought, "Oh, was this a mistake or something?" And next thing you know, his leg just goes over the table. I started laughing so hard. I'm like, "What wrong?"
I think at that point he had just kind of given up. Like he's like, "Whatever, I'm just gonna be here forever. I'm gonna sit down now." So
it was adorable. But yeah, it was really fun watching all the members, and oh my gosh, JK, I love the captions. they're like, is there anything that he's not good at?
No.
No.
Mhm.
Unless it's something he doesn't want to do.
They left him struggling with the bottles, though, at the end of this episode.
Yeah, that is true. He did get very frustrated with that. But also that's really hard.
Yeah. It
And
reminds
also kind of crappy that you have to go hunt for the bottle caps every single time.
yeah.
Like you can't just put it back together and try it again. Like you have to go hunt for them wherever they went to.
Mhm. Very
So.
true. I loved how all the members were like, is this even possible? Did someone already pass this? they're like, yeah, all the staff members tested these before putting it out there.
Sometimes I don't know if I believe that.
Yeah, they should get proof. Yes, I need to see the proof.
Because it always seems like in those instances when they say, oh, yeah, we've tested it, they end up modifying what they end up having to do.
Oh, gosh.
Because nobody can make it happen. So I can almost guarantee you that those water bottles, they're going to have to modify that thing. I just don't believe that somebody's going to get 3 of those. Like if JK can't do it, nobody can do it. I'm sorry.
And Jimin was so cute with the hula hoop. Oh my gosh, that was adorable.
Yes.
I mean, of course, you knew he was going to be very good at the hula hoop because of his hips and his body rolls and all that stuff. I'm like thinking, if he can't do this, that would be just sad. So anyway, so Jimin was amazing at the hula hoop. That was funny.
He
Really
was. The jai booty helped it keep up, so.
Well, when I first started watching Run, it was the one where they were in the shopping mall looking for those cards. And I just remember Jimin being so funny, whining. That was just the funniest set of episodes. So definitely some of my faves.
I think the first one I watched was the one where they do the virtual reality. And I don't remember where that was. I just remember it popping up in YouTube and I'm like, oh, this looks funny. And it was definitely funny.
Well, I was gonna say that was one of my favorites, and like, what am I saying, Crystal? All of them are all my favorites. But anyways, yeah, that was the one episode where, oh my gosh, Hovey, poor Hovey, he was like, I'm gonna die.
When they pushed him off the ledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so insane. And that was right after the UNICEF anti-bullying ad came out, and that just made me laugh so hard because I'm thinking they are totally torturing each other. This is awful.
And I loved how they strategically planned it as well, because they were talking about that, and then all of a sudden Jin, or I guess they were deciding who was going to push Hobie, and then Jin was like, well, we're on the same team, because if you guys do it, then we're gonna be in trouble, because it'll be, I guess, in a form of cheating. And Jin was like, I'm on the same team as Hobie, so I'll push him. I was like, dude, he's your teammate. And then towards the end, when they were playing, I guess there was 4 people, and then they had to fight each other off or something, and Jin was watching Jungi, and he was like, stop, what was the word he said? Oh, stop dying and start killing. Start cracking me up.
I liked some of the older ones, but one of my favorites, of course, is when they dress each other up, where they pick outfits out of their own closet, and then they have the runway. Yes. And you've got Jin and JK who drop it on the little catwalk. Their outfits were ridiculous, just plain ridiculous, but that's all right. Or when they sing the tomato song. That sleepy, out of it, don't know what's going on, confused Bangtan holds a special place in my heart.
It's something to see for sure.
I love all the cooking episodes. I would say those are my favorite, besides some of the later ones we've been talking about, including the water park episodes. I love those, especially with Jimin and the Promise CD and all that.
Those are fun.
I would agree.
What about
the cooking ones are fun?
The cooking ones are always entertaining because we already know that several of them are menaces in the kitchen. Like they're not helpful at all. I always like when they wrap up a season of Run because they always do something sweet for each other. So like the water park one where they gave each other gifts. Was it the second season where they wrote each other poems? And Jungi's poem like literally made me like my heart just constricted, and there might have been tears about like thankfully we are seven, like we are one or something. It was just so like all of them wrote really cute poems, but Jungi's was really just you wouldn't expect it maybe necessarily because he's not the one, right?
He's
to be
such a
expressive.
mushy little meow meow sometimes, though.
Definitely. So I like when they end a season because they always do something sweet for each other.
That's true.
To make up for all of the backstabbing and throwing each other under the bus that has commenced.
Like they could buy a million rice cookers over, but like throw a rice cooker as a prize or a box of ramen, and they will they will go behind each other's back all they can.
100%. Yeah. Don't care at all.
Those Hangul episodes where they were at like that museum and they were running around at night, those were really good too. And I guess that was like the last time that JK had his camera guy, based on what we heard on the behind for last week's run. That was so funny. Because he's like, oh yeah, I remember you. We were running really hard. Last time you were my camera guy, and I'm sure that guy was like, oh no. Anyway.
Didn't his camera guy lose him at one point?
Oh yeah, those Hangul episodes are so awesome. Because you can just hear the poor camera guy like gasping for air as he's like running after JK, and JK's like gone.
Oh my gosh. Whoever's paired up with JK needs to be an athlete.
I mean, you'd have to be. He's the reason that they won all those competitions when it came to the track part. Because when he handed it off to JK, he was like a little bullet. I'm gone.
I love watching those relays. Yeah.
So, yeah. The child is good at everything. Everything.
Very true.
I'm really fascinated as to why they're not in order all the time. I would love to know the rationale behind that. I mean, sometimes it's probably because they don't want to spoil something, but they're so out of order all the time. It seems bizarre to me.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I thought about that too. That they probably have some sort of reasoning, but I don't understand what that reasoning is.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't exposed what the reasoning is, but yeah.
Like they should
we know
have.
Big Head has a reason for everything that they do, but I mean, it's the translation from Big Hit to Army sometimes is lost.
Like, wait.
Exactly.
Do you have a favorite, Martina?
A favorite episode? Well, I could never choose favorites when it comes to Bantam. That's the most difficult question to ask me.
How about some memorable moments?
Oh, well, V and Jimin. For that same Hangul episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, where they betrayed each other.
Yes.
Oh yeah. It was all one way, my friend.
That is true.
Jimin was like, oh my gosh, at the end he was like, if you're the guy that was putting those things on me, our friendship is over. It was so funny.
He was so trusting of V, and V was just sticking it on. And I liked when JK running away from, not JK, J-Hope running away from JK and hiding with RM. He was so afraid of JK.
He really was, which is funny because he's usually the one to sick JK on somebody. Like if they're doing something he doesn't want, like JK get him. So for him to be like, no, don't come after me.
That's so funny. Oh, that reminds me of the Christmas episode. That was also one of my favorites where
With the pig balloons?
Yes.
Yes.
I've never seen so many people afraid of Hobie.
Oh, that episode was really funny. Like I don't remember why they had pig balloons, but I remember the pig balloons. And then when Tay's just standing around in that case pretending to be a statue, and now June comes running by and then like backtracks and looks like so confused about what's going on, and Tay just plays his part.
That was pretty funny.
Oh gosh.
Not to mention they all kind of looked like minions in their little outfits, but you know.
They really did. They were so adorable. And then the zombie episode. Oh my gosh. Just listening to Hobie scream and
So much screaming.
yeah, like even Yugi and Sukjin.
So much screaming. It was so good though. Like I don't know how Big Hit got away with that. Honestly, because the guys didn't, you could tell they did not know that was coming. Like when the zombies are like getting, like the first time they see him, they did not know that was happening.
No, they thought they were at the zoo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm trying to remember the conversation that initially happened. They're like, there's a reason that they have us here at night or something like that. And it still didn't click to them like what was happening for the poor guys. And then next thing you know, I guess the first zombie started showing up. And then you have Jin, and I forgot who was sitting right next to Jin, but both of them had just smashed into V, that you couldn't see V, but they were literally sitting on him, freaking out. I was like, oh no, don't smush little V.
That episode was too much. At one point, like the zombies are like running at, I think it's Jungi and Hobie, and Jungi screams, but like he balls up his fist like he's gonna punch at him. It's like,
I know. He's gonna fight him.
Right.
Like as he's shrieking, though.
Hobie's just gonna run and hide. Like he is so done with all of it. Like I don't want any part of this. Please let me out.
And one of my favorite moments was when was it Jin or somebody said the zombie folks were foreigners, and and so I think it was Jin. He's like, "Hello, are you there?" or something like that, and the zombie just pops out. He's like, "Oh my gosh!"
Like even when they were looking for them and stuff, like they still scream. I mean, I would too. Like don't get it wrong. I am more Jin and Hobie in the zombie episode than any other member. Like
Me
put me in a
too.
haunted house or something, and I'm just gonna shriek and cry. Like I don't want to be there, but
I don't
still
do
fun to
haunted
watch.
houses for that very purpose because I know my limitations. So
I'm not paying somebody to scare the crap out of me. No,
absolutely not. Absolutely not. Mm-mm.
And then you had the other team that consists of JK, V, and Junie. And yeah, they didn't scream one bit.
Did somebody lose their shoe in that episode?
Yeah, that was like at the beginning, right? Wasn't it Hobie when he first went out?
Oh,
And he first saw the zombies. So whoever was the first person was the person I think that lost
I think
their shoe.
it was Hobie.
Oh,
no, poor Hobie.
that episode's just a classic. Like all episodes of Run are good, but some of them just really are at the peak. And zombie episode is definitely one of those.
Yep.
I would agree.
I know Jay was saying that her favorite was 33, the one where they're jumping up and they're trying to be in the picture that's being taken.
Oh, that one was really good. Yes, where they had to be in a certain frame, so sometimes you're getting like the top of their head or like their torso.
Yes.
Their hand goes up.
Did that. Yeah, I like
the one
they
they recreated for the 100th, right?
Yes. Yeah, they did that in the 100th too, which was nice that they did some of the favorites.
Mm-hmm. I wish they would let us do that for a concert. Like let us pick all the favorite things and like curate our own concert of songs that we want to see them perform. Like that'd be awesome. Anyway.
Yeah. Could that be our first concert back? Like maybe that should be a thing. As much as I want to see 7, I just think whenever we do finally get a concert, there'll be so much new material we won't get like a full 7 concert. So like if you could just let us curate our own concert, that would be pretty awesome.
The Louder Than Bombs and Paradise contingent are gonna try to make that happen.
That'd be awesome. I'm down for that, please.
Me too.
Right, thank you.
Sign me
know.
up, I'm voting.
And
I
then
love
we can
Paradise.
just throw in a few things from the Dark and Wild album because, look, as much as I love grown up, mature Bangtan, I also really enjoy hormone fueled Bangtan as well, where they sing about girls and how they're going crazy and their hormones are out of control. Like, I missed that the first go around and I need it. Damn it.
That would be awesome.
I'm with you. Give us some. They're older now. They've got more hormones. Like, give it to us.
Why are we trying to pretend like it's not like that they don't still have them? Like I'm happy that you're mature and you know that you didn't spend 6 years writing about your exes like Taylor Swift. Like I'm thrilled about that your music has grown and progressed. But also, could we just? I mean, you redid "I Need You." Can we just go back and to like just have a few of those songs instead of pretending like they don't exist?
A war of hormones.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Yeah, with the
Good.
band or some different arrangements. That would be fun.
So it's time for an online concert?
Yeah. I
I
mean,
hope
I don't.
they're planning for something.
Yeah,
I mean, just because I don't want to go too long without seeing them again. So we're ready. I'm ready for something. I'm sure they're working on it. That's why they're quiet, maybe. Or maybe they're quiet because they've been shooting Winter Package. Like, I don't know. I can't figure it out, but something. If they're
I
quiet,
mean,
we already know.
they're always busy doing something.
They are.
I would love it if they just filmed music videos for everything on B. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Even if they're just selfie stick ones, I don't care. I want to see Disease. I want to
I
see
agree.
Disease.
As many different versions of like Dynamite as we got, I think we could take some time and do some.
Exactly.
I agree. And I really want one for Stay because that just such a like awesome song and I just want to see them dancing around to it.
That'd be really cute.
Yes, I'm here for all of the B music videos.
Yes. And I just want V to have this like really dramatic video for Blue and Gray. Like I just want him to have this like whole cinematic world where, you know, every like he's walking around under a cloud and everything's gray and then it turns to blue. Like I just want him to have a fancy like MV for Blue and Gray with his perfect voice on that song.
I think we're ready.
I'm blissed out just thinking about it.
Yes, you're ready.
Aww.
Back to Run episodes though, this last cooking episode with the chef that came in and them doing the ham and stuff was so much fun to watch them fanboy over somebody else.
It was really
Like,
awesome.
to watch them all fawn over him and just like every 5 seconds, like, hey, can I get some help? Hey, what do I do with this? Hey. And then, you know, Junie and who else was it? Junie and Tay that were like asking for his autographs. It was just really, really cute. I enjoyed that immensely. And then them not wanting to give Jungi a knife because he wasn't there to participate. So
Yeah, it was really cute how they were both teams were really trying hard to win. And then when they both won, that was great.
it was. Yeah.
So that was one episode where everybody won, even the guy who was not there.
Even the one that wasn't there. But we all know that he would have won had he been there. I mean, 'cause he and Jen are the best, like, at cooking amongst the group. JK can make some mean ramen.
Mhm.
Jimin is good at a few things, but in general, you're right.
I mean, I'm still impressed with Jen for making sushi in the forest. So, I mean, he gets mad props for that. I don't make sushi, and I stay in the kitchen all the time. So,
Aw. Yeah, I will say the only reason I've really gotten into cooking is because of BTS and the episodes that I've seen on Run. Cause it's like just watching a cooking show or something, which I don't really do. But watching BTS do it, I will do it.
mhm. And you're like, if they can do this, I can totally do this. 'Cause they're terrible in the kitchen.
Aw.
So, I mean, seriously, Junie doesn't even know how to cut a carrot. Like,
Oh, no, I feel like I'm really worse in the kitchen than they are, but I'm slowly learning with them.
I haven't seen you putting out dishes.
Oh, I try. I put in a lot of effort and I do try. Even my mom's impressed. She's like, thanks to those 7 boys, you're actually in the kitchen. I was like, oh.
They're good for something.
right?
Do you have a squirrel bowl, Crystal?
Oh, I do not. I would like to have one.
I need to get one.
Amazon did not have them. I got mine on Amazon.
On
I
Amazon?
went checked it. Amazon, I got the square bowl from. They did not have any.
Mm.
I don't know if they got more again.
I wonder if somebody on Etsy has them.
Oh, yeah. Etsy has a lot of stuff. Huh.
But they're cute. I like it.
Speaking of the Scrabble, yes, that was one of the good episodes too. I was thinking about the sweet potato stuck to the plate, and JK's like just messing around with it like a wheel.
Oh, goodness.
Good times.
Such good times.
Squirrel Bowl is in stock on Amazon for $25.99.
Oh,
they got more? Okay, so who
It's
was I looking
permanently in
for?
my cart, so.
I know somebody probably in the other group wanted it, and I went to check. So yeah, that was the price I paid. So the price is still the same.
I just put it in our RTC so we can, if
Nice.
somebody's
Thank you.
interested.
awesome.
I love all your funny references.
I know we've talked about the pajama one a few times, mostly because every time we talk about it, I want Jungi's robe that he wears in that pajama episode or the pajama episodes. I think it was 2 of them. But anyway, that one is super fun. And I love it when they play the animal game when they have to all pick an animal and that is hysterical to me. And I could just watch that one part over and over because they get so tickled. And then I laugh harder because they're laughing. And anyway,
There was an elephant and a snake.
A snake. Oh gosh.
Crocodile or something.
Maybe.
Yeah. I can't remember all the animals, but yes, that was a good moment too. And just watching their reaction, and they're moving so fast too, and like my
So
brain
fast.
cannot keep up.
Somebody was a chicken, I think.
I love it.
And they even did some karaoke. That was really fun.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh,
Jim
yeah.
acting.
And they did ASMR because I remember
Oh my
Junie
gosh,
had to
yes.
like break honeycomb or something. And I was
No,
like,
it was foam for flowers.
oh, it was foam
And it had
flower.
water in it. It had water in it. He was trying to break it, and he kept moving the pan it was on.
Oh, yes. I like those episodes where it's just like a cluster of different activities.
Yes, a random assortment.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
fun.
yes, yes. And then remember the penalty from that was they had to wear the pants. So was it during the B comeback episode or thing where
think.
Junie and Jimin had to put on pants? Like
Yeah,
they
yeah,
were
I
wearing
think
the flower
so.
pants.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, they looked good in them, so it's not like it was a hardship, but
Mhm.
Oh no, it was the episodes where they like rented out a house and they were playing games in a room. I don't remember now, but
Oh,
man,
the
I remember
photo
them wearing
photo
those pants.
things. The
Yeah.
photo exhibition 1 through 3 on Crystal's list. Episodes 104 through 106 where they were taking pictures of well, first they did their outfits. They decorated their outfits.
Oh, yeah.
And then they had to
Oh.
dress up in them, and of course JK in that one outfit that
Awesome.
Jin
Peter
designed,
Pan.
right?
Right.
That was too much.
Like a sparkly Peter Pan.
Jin's outfit was ridiculous, but we expected that from him.
Would expect nothing less.
No,
Uh,
nothing less.
the dubbing episode.
That was a good one.
Oh yeah, that's so good.
That's still my fave. One of my faves.
Yes,
Hmm
they were so good.
Yeah, I definitely think that one's in my top 5 of Run episodes of all time because it's just so they are just such naturals at it, especially
Yes.
Jin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
need to
did.
do some more of that. I'd take a few more Run episodes where they're dubbing.
Mhm.
I would too. I would do that. I would be quite comfortable just listening to them dubbing. I
Mhm.
enjoy Jin. I love Jimin, but Jin, and I just enjoy Jin part. He was so good at it.
I loved how we found out recently that actually Disney was very eager to let them have the rights so they could do that, which I thought was amazing.
Come on, let's make it happen.
Right. I mean, Disney's not stupid. They know they can make money, so
Of course.
More exposure, right?
that's right. I also really loved the florist episode from a while back.
Yes,
Like
that was
that
nice.
also is one of my favorite ones for a multitude of reasons because I love seeing them do something that as Westerners, like we look at, our culture looks at it as like a non-masculine thing. And I love seeing them get so
Really?
excited about it. And really, I mean, I feel like people here, if dudes are playing with flowers, like if you sent a bunch of 20 something year old guys to do that here, they would screw around, they would make fun of it, they wouldn't actually like put everything they have into it. So the difference in between our culture and between the culture there, that it's like something that they actually took the time and like really saw how intricate it is and put everything into it while they were doing that. I just thought that was really cool. And they came up with some really pretty stuff.
Yes.
I think it's amazing that they even know what their birth flowers are. Like that's something that you know over there.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Jin's
I
flower
enjoyed that
cracked me
one. Oh my God, Jen.
up. The little alien thing on the
His
top.
flower crown. It was an alien flower crown for sure, with his flower sticking straight
Antennas.
up on the side.
Yes.
I worked in a flower shop, so it was interesting for me to look to see it, to see them doing
Mm.
floral work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Junie just being so delicate because he's usually, the god of destruction, and he didn't tear things up. Like his was really pretty.
I
And
think
he
it's
worked
because of this
really
little
hard.
bonsai.
Yes.
Maybe,
Like,
maybe.
he's very delicate. He's proud, and he takes that bonsai traveling with him or whatever. So, like,
Mhm.
I think,
Sure.
Maybe
yeah.
that's the one thing that he can, that he can be all sweet and delicate with and not tear it up.
That's so sweet. Yeah, and V's and Jimin's, yeah, theirs turned out really pretty too. All of theirs turned
Yeah.
out pretty. Yeah. And Jin, it's just he cracked me he cracked me up when he started cracking up. Like he couldn't even hold his laughter in looking at his own flower.
He was creative.
Very
That's one word for it, yes.
I forgot what he even named it. It was like innocent child or something like that, and I was like, that fits so perfectly.
It did. I agree.
And then the episode of them in Toronto, I just remembered them being very cold, and they were trying to get to the store, trying to get more clothing. And but I forgot what happened, but they got out of the car and they asked a question to do something. I forgot what asking a question got them, but you know how big it is. They'll reward them with something. And the question was, "What's the capital of Belgium?" And I guess Jin was so cold he's just being funny. He goes, "Waffle."
Yeah, that sounds like Jen.
Well, you're cold and you're sleepy. You can't think. And
But
the
you
first
can
thing
still be funny.
food.
Can confirm I was both of those things early this morning at work because I had to go in at 6 and I was in the freezer that was at 0 degrees. So I was sleepy and cold and could not function like a normal human.
Well, do we want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I was going to say, does anybody have anything else before we do our ending?
We should do this more often. Take a block, everybody watch them, and then we meet.
Like a book club, but a run club?
All right. But this is not about physical activity.
No. Nope.
Not the run you're thinking of.
Nope. Just BTS running through your brain
That's
like
BTS
normal.
runs.
That's a couch to 5K I could get behind.
That's right.
Watch the episodes and then we meet and discuss. Because I need to go back
That
to
would be
watch them
fun.
from episode 1.
I have watched them all. I'm behind on the most recent ones, about a handful of them. But other than that, I have seen them all, and they are definitely worth watching, and they're worth rewatching because you don't catch everything.
One thing I would like to say, like my favorite, one of my favorite BTS pictures or gifs that shows up that I use all the time is the one of Hobie on the roller coaster where his like head is back and he looks like he's about to die, and people like caption it with like "soul has left the body." Like that's still one of my all-time favorite ones to use because it's just hilarious.
Poor Hobie, but that is true.
No, bless him.
Well, Crystal, do
Well-
you want to start wrapping it up? You had all these things you wanted to say.
Yes, I was going to say, Crystal, make our announcements.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, as always, thank you for listening to Bangtan and Borahae's podcast. And with our Happy Hobie's birthday coming up, we'd like to send out 5 adorable manga keychains to 5 lucky listeners. And all you have to do is email us your answer to this question to be entered to win. What was your favorite Run episode and why? Email your answers to bangtanandborahae@gmail.com. That's BANGTANANDBORAHAE@gmail.com. So respond by Hobie's birthday on February 18th, 2021 by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to be entered to win. And winner to be announced at the next podcast episode released on Wednesday, February 24th at 2021, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So good luck to all our listeners.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Bangtan and Borahae. You can find us on Twitter at Borahae Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook at Bangtan and Borahae, and our email is bangtanandborahae@gmail.com.
Until next time, this is Crystal.
D.
Melissa.
Jay.
Susan?
Tina.
Borahae.
Hey.